I'm live again. Okay. So this is going to be a fairly long live stream. I'm going to be making a couple of these parts, and I just thought it'd be cool to just live stream the whole thing. So I'm getting pretty lazy with making videos these days. I'm going to start with some stock. Got some stock, they're not the same size. And I broke the blade on my bandsaw, so I'm just going to deal with it. I have modelled up the stock around the parts, and then I'll just change the length to suit the different size stock. So yeah, we should get a couple of these parts out of the machine. Just gonna kind of just putting these Mighty Bite Talon things into the vices. That's what I'm gonna hold a little bit of the stock with. These things are freaking awesome. Okay. Got to put gloves on. My Allen key go. So, been very busy with this milling machine. Making lots and lots of parts. I'll show you in a second what I've been making. They're all for drones or camera related equipment. I've actually got a big batch just about to go off to the anodizer. Let's tighten these up first. Yeah, if you don't know about these clamps, the Mighty Bite Talons. Anyway, they just grip onto like 1.5 millimeters of stock. It's amazing. And it will not let go. Trust me. You can take some massive cuts with this. I've never had anything pull out. It's insane. Yeah, so here's some parts. About to go off to anodizer. G'day, Aaron. Look forward to coming around to your joint next week. As you can see, I've been pretty busy making lots of parts here. Not many videos because I just haven't had a chance to make any, I suppose. Okay, so just gonna whack some of the stock in here. I got 2 different lengths. Start with the shorter one. It's at 115, 120. But yeah, these Mighty Bite things, I use them so often, it's not funny. And I don't even have that many of them. So I'm just gonna align the part to the edge of that clamp by eye. Tighten her up. Doing everything one-handed, like a boss. Yeah, great, Aaron. That's really cool. You got to be careful inviting so many people over to your house. You might turn into one of those rave parties, CNC rave party. You end up on the news. Cool. Oh, will do. I think there's only you on the live feed, Aaron. But anyway, Aaron, DCT teacher on YouTube. He's pretty famous. I'm sure you guys probably know of him if you're floating around on my channel. He's getting a new Sile machine. I think it's an X7 this week, and he's inviting sort of all of the CNC people around to his house next weekend to come take a look at this machine. So it's pretty exciting. What are you going to do with that Skyfire, Aaron? You going to keep it? Or is that going to pay for the shipping for the new mill? So I just need to adjust the stock. This is how I've got it set up here. I just model this piece of stock. Oh, cool. Well, what control system has it got, Aaron? Is it is it the 808D as well, or is that 808D Advanced? Anyway, let me just edit this. So this was 115. Oh yeah, if anyone wants the Skyfire machine, let Aaron know. He's got one going for a reasonable price, I'm sure. Just verify I did that right. I'm not very good at multitasking, so it's quite possible you'll see me crash it or do something completely stupid. Cool. Now, I've made these parts before, so I'm not actually going to go through and simulate it all. I do have some manual code in here, so it'll change back to a tool 1, and then it'll bring the table to the door. I love that stuff. I've got it set up as a template here, so I just load all of my favorite templatey stuff. If I'm running like a tall part and it could potentially hit the carousel when it comes into tool changes, I've got the table coming to the front right hand corner before it does the tool change. So anyway, post it. That's the 115mm stock. Send. Next step, probe it. I knew there was something I had to do. Measure work in G54. I hate how this doesn't like automatically go to work offset 1, it's just the global offset. So you gotta be really careful. There's been a time when I probed in on G500. Luckily nothing bad happened, but hand wheel K11. And I can put the probe in. Okay. Just run a spindle warm up, so that's why the spindle wasn't aligned with the tool changer. Do a quick probe. Hopefully I don't break it live. That would be embarrassing. I did break it the other day though. Only took me 8 months. Just verify my work offset's good. Cool. So I always just activate G54 to make sure that I did in fact probe it in the right location. Now I just got to set up all my tools for this particular job. Come around here. So tool 7's already in there. Tool 4 is already in there. Tool 8 I've got to put in there. Tool 3. Can probably get away with this one. It's a 1/8 drill bit. This is fun, doing everything one-handed. 3 mil here. Just read it. 3 millimeters. Probably put this down actually. Change that color. Too tight, but tight enough. Okay, I'm gonna stick this in there. Probe the length. Always double check my tool offsets when I measure it. Could do tool 8 as well. Sweet. There's already a ball nose 6 mil in there. I probably should have checked. So, tool 8, ball ended 6 mil. Tool 2, I think I got all the tools. Tool 9, 4 millimeter end mill. What have I got? Nope. I better put that in. Hopefully my phone doesn't fall over in here. So, got to put a 4 millimeter end mill into this one. Hungry for chips. I've got lots of chips stockpiled for you here, Aaron, if you want. I've got a chip bin from a bit of lathe work yesterday. It gets filled up pretty quick. I definitely need some chip breaking tooling on the lathe. It's getting messy around here. Okay, now it's got to find my 4 millimeter end mill. Got another drawer here full of stuff. Got cutlery, soft jaws, mill tooling. So it's probably going to be. Not sure if this is my good one or not. Yeah, I do, Aaron. It's you know what's sad is that I've taken it to the recycling twice, and one time I got $70 for, I think it was almost like 120 kilos of swarf, and the second time I got $40. So it's almost not worth bloody recycling the stuff, which is sad. Okay. I'm not sure. Do you recycle your stuff from work or? So I'm considering just either trying to find somewhere else to take it or not even recycling it at all. Okay, we've got the 4 mil loaded. Yeah, I don't know if it's fluctuating or if I'm just getting ripped off. Can't tell. Okay. This is the last one to probe in, so. Alright. Tool 9. Should take a cut, Aaron. A delivery and processing cut. 3, 4, 4, 2. I'll just show you what I'm actually doing now. So I've zeroed off on that gauge. I've got to put the offset into the machine. So 83,442, tool 9, 83.442, 83,442, 83,442 in relative mode. That's what I want. Cool, so I don't think I need this gauge anymore. That can go to its little bed. Probed it in. I've done all of the things that I'm supposed to do, I think. I'll just double check. Okay. Let's check I got the right tools. That one's in there, 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 tool 9's in there, and chamfering. Cool. And I think I measured the stock correctly. All right. Here goes nothing. Load the program off my USB stick. Called it 115 millimeters. Cool. Go. Sweet. Oh, that's no good. Can't really see anything. Faced it off with the shear hog. What's up next? Do some adaptive clearing with the 6 mil end mill. Sorry guys, can't really see that well. Measured the stop correctly. Okay, well no bad noises came out of the machine. So, active work coordinate system is G54. It says there. That's how you know. Anyway, so I'm running this about 3,000 millimeters per minute. It's got a very light step over. I'm in no rush to really make these parts, so wow, I really need to clean the machine. Cycle time. Cool, so it's roughed out like one of them. I don't know if you guys can see. Taking really light step over actually. Could have gone a lot more aggressively on it. Let's have a look. So it's kind of like roughing it out for a little bit of 3D machining. It says this should take 245, but it doesn't factor in. Doesn't really factor in like the inertial compensation of the machine or the tool changes very well. This mine's like an umbrella style tool changer. It can take a while to change from, you know, halfway around the carousel to the other half. Hoping I've left enough clearance to stick out on the collet. Oh, sorry, Slap Frog. I've been missing a few messages because I'm sort of half concentrating on what I'm doing. Oh, so now it's like roughing out the little angle on it. Problem with this live streaming thing is like the messages only show up for like 5 seconds. So if I'm not looking at the screen, it's gone forever. My TM20, I've still got it actually. I still do the occasional little job on it. Cool, so doing the last bit. Looks like there's enough clearance for the collet, thankfully. You guys can't see anything, but damn flood coolant. Anyway, we'll let that go. Look at something else. So it's doing this bottom contour right now. And then I'll adaptive clear through the middle of them. Get 4 parts out of one piece. So these are some little parts. They're for a safety pin to go. So like our drone arm, the motor mount slides on the arm, and a safety pin goes through the motor mount to the actual end of the arm bracket itself, like a little pin with like a detent springy thing on it. And this is just a bracket that sort of bolts onto the side of the motor plate. Not sure if I've got one here somewhere. Nah, so they're all on the actual drone itself, but they're kind of like similar thing to this, like bolts under here. They're quite small parts. It's not this one, but it's similar. These are some motor mounts. Just like standoffs, a little bit of stock. So yeah. Cool, it's done the adaptive clearing, now it's doing a contour pass just to clean it all up. Yeah, so we do sort of very small scale manufacturing, mostly for our own usage. We do like a lot of custom stuff as well. Hey, it's done. Probably took a lot longer than it should have, but we made parts successfully, that's all that matters. If I was going to make like, 30 or 50 of these, I'd definitely optimize the tool paths. So a little bit of 3D machining with the ball end mill. David, my mill has 3 axes, and yes, I'm using all of them right now. So you can see X, Y, and Z all moving simultaneously. Justin, this is an OptiMill F80. Like a German design but Chinese made machine. Quite cheap, but really good for what we use it for. If you check out some of my other videos or some of Aaron Powter's videos, there's lots of content, showing you the machine. Probably better than through a live stream on a phone as well. Show you some of the tools that I like to use. I don't like to use that. It's too big, and so if you're going to one side of your part, you actually need to factor in that it needs to clear whichever side of the part you're coming in from or leaving. So it would trip out on the y-axis a lot, like if I was doing a relatively large part. So now I just primarily use a shear hog, which is just like a great general purpose facing and roughing tool. It's really good for getting rid of the top hats on the back of parts, because you can just, it's so rigid and big, you can just plow around the contour of it and then come in and face it. Just a couple of drills. Pretty much all my end mills are from Goering, because they're only just around the corner from my office, and it's really convenient if I just need to go top up on a couple of weird sizes or whatnot. This is a Tormac saw arbor with a slitting saw. just the TTS thing stuck into a collet. A hammer for probing in. I've got, this is like a YG1 end mill. I bought a couple of these from the States. They're really nice, but I got just the cheaper Chinese holders, so run out can be a bit of an issue. That's my little die holder thing I made. Tormac drag engraver, which I never use. Tiny little ball-ended end mill. A reamer for some pins that I was using on some big plates. But yeah, definitely my favourite tool is going to be that shear hog. That is just awesome value for money. Cool, so we're done with the roughing. The 3D machining with the ball. Drill some holes. Spot drill them first. This is just a spot drill. So this just puts a little dent in the top of the part so when the drill comes in it won't wander. I believe you can put a 4th axis on this machine. At least that's what the Hare and Forbes guys told me. I don't really think I need one. I think it's sort of part specific. Because I do a lot of like small batches of just really different parts, I suppose having a 4th axis and then setting it up is not really, it would just lose so much table space on here. I'd probably prefer to have like another machine set up with a 4th axis. Okay, we drilled the holes. Now this is just a boring operation with the 4 mil. Fairly quick. It's just counter boring some holes. Yeah, I'm not too sure if you can run the 4th on the 808D. I have heard that you need the 808D Advance as well, but I'm yet to really open up the back of this thing and have a good look around. In the control system, there is option for an A and B axis, so it could just be, you just need the drivers in the rear of the machine and wire it up. Just doing a little edge break on the parts. Always try to like deburr it as much as possible in the machine so I don't have to do anything by hand. I think that's it. It's going to change back to tool 1. That's just nice because it gives me sort of clearance in the machine so I don't bump any tools or anything. And I can just slap the probe straight in and the table will come to the door automatically. Blow them off. Cool. We didn't crash anything. So you can see probably just how big those parts are in relation to my hand. But yeah, now I'll just knock the back off that. I'll do that after I make the second round. It's really just face off the back and then these parts are done. I'll actually drill a hole on the side. So. Anyway, I'm going to change some stuff so next one goes a little bit quicker. It was a bit too slow for my liking. Mostly the adaptive clearing. a step over of 1 millimeter. And go 2. Speed up the ball end mill. Go quicker, spotting, drilling, boring, chamfering. And just update my stock length for this piece. It's about 120. One, 2, 0. Enter. Done. Regenerate all of that. Stick it on the USB key. Call this 120. Save it. Stick it back in the machine. David, I appreciate the subscription. I go live just randomly, to be honest. My life's so hectic these days, I can't really plan. And I'd love to do some videos and stuff, but yeah, it's pretty hard. And like, to be honest, some days you just cop so much stuff on YouTube, it's not worth it. It's quite sad, really. You know, I'm all just like self-taught and everything, so, but some people just can't really, I suppose, accept that. And yeah, some of the things I do probably frowned upon are a little bit slow, but you know, it's a constant learning process. I suppose I should just take my own advice and not care. But all right, so I'll put that piece of stock in. I don't need to probe it because I've aligned it to like where I put the other piece in, and it's just a rough piece of stock, so yeah. So I can just press go on that new code that I loaded in the machine, and it should go a little bit quicker this time. So that's the 120 mil. Push that button, and it starts going. Yeah, I'd love to do some videos. It's hard, man. Like, you got to give it to like Aaron. You got to really pre-plan it. Pre-plan it, sit down, do it. I'm actually gonna cancel that because it didn't really take much stock off the top, so I'm gonna put a global offset in and just take it down like 0.5 millimeter, maybe 0.5. Whoops, wrong axis. 0. So minus 0.5. Not 0.050. Minus 0.5 millimeters. There we go. Now I got this special thing that I made so that I don't leave the offset in there and it wrecks the rest of my parts. So I just like hang that over it. My little reminder. Cool. Reload that and run it, and we should be able to face off that stock properly. There we go. Good guy, shear hog. Oh, the other thing with this machine is like if you're pushing it pretty hard, you'll get chips going up onto the faces of the BT30 holders. and you got to clean it off, otherwise your tool can get stuck in your spindle. Ask me how I know this. So I kind of just periodically pull off this cover here, that cover, and then I manually like jog the carousel around, and then I just clean off all the tool holders and clean out the faces inside the spindle. Yeah, because if your tool gets stuck in there and it tries to do a tool change, you can imagine it just wouldn't be very good. Oh, thanks, Aaron. I just read your message now. I wouldn't say I'm a quick learner. I'd say learn by making errors and then trying not to make that error a second and third time. Cool. So I doubled the step over essentially, so shouldn't take as long, this one. And it sounds pretty good. Yeah, I really like this machine. Optimum. It's got a light on it too. And you can plug your speaker into it. That's like the best feature. It's got power for your speaker. There's my old fog buster. I had that rigged up just to blow some chips off when I was like roughing out big pallet of parts. And that's how I got more chips on my tool holders as well. So it didn't turn out to be the best solution. Three minutes. I know, what else can I show you guys? Could probably show you some photos of my big drone, because you might not have seen it. Where would it be? Not sure if I got any on my computer actually. Ah, here we go. Pictures. So, oh, that's the gimbal. Getting closer. So that's it. It's pretty big. It's about maximum of 80 kilograms, like 170-ish pounds for the Americans that might be tuning in. So this is actually a different version one. It's got some different parts on it and stuff. Since made a second version. But this is us in America flying with some big cinematography camera on it for like a product release of some lenses. That's me over there, looking seriously at that guy. These are some of our other guys. They're awesome, Steve and Aaron. But yeah, so we make a couple of different size drones, and yeah, we like to make all of the components that go with it. Just so you know, I suppose. Cool. So machine sounds good. Almost done roughing those out. Contour pass. Yeah. Make some wipes for the tool holder. Do you mean like wipes when it's doing a tool change, or when it's like turning in the carousel? It's a pretty good idea actually. Like, has somebody done that before and I can just copy paste it? I saw a Tormac guy like did like an air blast to blow off the BT30 holders, which I thought was pretty nifty. Cool. 6mm ball end. Next up. You know what's cool about running a CNC mill is like you become so comfortable controlling it. It becomes like driving a car and you're not even thinking about it sometimes. It's really cool. Like connected to the machine. Got a really small step over on this. I probably could have gone with a much larger step over and saved a lot of time, but that's kind of I think it's about 0.5 millimeter step over. Oh, that's scary, man. You hear about it quite often. Drones is a funny thing. You really need to actually know what you're doing. It's marketed as so easy to do, but in reality, it's not easy to do. There's a lot of human factors involved with it, especially operating commercially. It's like that old concept of when you're under pressure and you just forget everything that you're supposed to do. Your brain doesn't work properly. So it's like anything aviation, there's lots of little processes and checks that you have to go through to avoid any kind of incident. So, almost dropped it. That's what we're pretty good at here at XM2 is, operating in high pressure environments. Ooh. Checklists are great if you use them. Cool. Almost done with this thing. Man, this is a pretty long live stream. I don't know. Almost going for an hour. Cool, finished with that one. Oh, some other things I did with my machine. I increased the rapid retract speed of the Z-axis for tool changing. And I also managed to squeeze like another 10 millimeters out of the Y-axis. So I opened it up to clean all of the switches and everything, and there was like a bunch more travel in there. So I just moved back one of the limit switches cautiously, like super cautiously, and I adjusted the travels and the Siemens, and I got like an extra 10 mil of travel on the Y. So I'm super stoked. Been running it for like months after the adjustment without any issues. So, but yeah, I have pulled the way covers off on the Y axis and just cleaned out that whole area, because a little bit of stuff does manage to work its way through the covers, coolant and little chips and all sorts of nasty little things. It gets sort of packed in there behind the Y-axis, and yeah, it's not. I mean, it runs a lot, this machine, so small price to pay. It's the boring part, the 4 mil. So that's just doing this little counter bore here for an M3 button head screw. the chamfer it now. This is kind of like the last step. Just edge break it a little bit. Change back to the invisible tool. So I shaved a couple of minutes off it. It was 15 minutes. Now it's 11 minutes 30. So just by tweaking the step over a little bit. Check out my little end stop I got from courtesy of Aaron Powter. Freaking sweet. Cool. So we got a couple more of those parts, and we got this cool little flat spot of nothingness as well for free. Okay. I suppose I could keep going on this. Oh, here's some of our other drone stuff. That's in South Korea. In the Gangnam district. Anyway. So, I think what I did last time was I changed the vice jaws. I'm trying to remember what I did. Pull these parts out. I think I had them sitting in there. That. So I'd cut them up. It's going to be a bit painful because my bandsaw is broken. I'd have to do it by hand. That moment when you realise you have to do something by hand. I must have sat on some parallels and just knocked the back face off. And then drilled some holes in the side. Oh yeah, I do remember now. Okay. Gotta do it tough, gotta do it the hard way. I dropped it. Try not to drop the parts. That's 4. Number 4. hate it when you make like a really nice part and then you drop on the ground. Not that these are really nice parts. But, Mars the side of this. It's happening to me a few times. Last one. And we can continue. Ooh, almost dropped that one too. All right. Oh, okay, some messages came through. Let me see if I can find them again. Yeah, man's got to do what a man's got to do. That's right. Hey, Chris Attack. That's a cool last name, if that's really your last name. All right. Got a bunch of these things, so I got to take that back hat thing off. The top hat it's called. And I'm going to use the shear hog to do so, because the shear hog is my friend. Anyway, let's clean off this crap. I'm going to take out... Sorry, I'm just thinking of like the next steps. I'm trying to think ahead with my brain. It's not going so well. This has got to be one of the first things you have to make if you get a milling machine. A speed handle. It is, you will use it a lot. Ah, cool. Yeah, I know Chris. I didn't know his last name was Attack. That's awesome. Hope he doesn't attack me in real life. I got these little things out of the guys Chipex in New Zealand. They supply like Australia and New Zealand with probably a lot of the high-end tooling stuff. Really nice guys there. Take out this stuff. Probably gonna have to take them all out, actually. Try not to drop it in the middle. G'day Red Star Garage. Oh, I'm jealous. It's bloody freezing down here in Melbourne. It's hailing this morning. Same as last weekend, I suppose. Oh, just about to tick over 1 hour. This is like a running time counter as to how efficiently I can make these parts. We already know is not very efficient. 27. That's awesome. But then the weather's too nice. You can't be in a workshop actually doing stuff. So I use the weather a lot as an excuse to cut out for a second there. Oof, almost dropped it. This is actually like really hard to do with one hand, so if I drop stuff in the mill, I blame it on you guys. Okay, got rid of that stuff. Just kind of... Try not to blow too many chips around in there. Oh, filthy. You filthy vice here. just trying to clean it because I'm going to put part on a parallel or two. So I don't want it to be sitting up on these chips. Cool. I'll take that. Then my part is going to sit something like that. So I need to put a parallel in there. Oh, whoops. I reckon that's pretty good. Actually, I could just sit it on that jaw. Don't even need a parallel. What am I thinking? So stupid, man. Okay, let's put this down for a second. This is like first person view. Okay. Alright, see if I can do them all in one go. That would be very much efficient. So I'll probe in the top of the jaw here. That'll be so I can reference the actual thickness of this part. Thickness is not super critical on this part. So that's good because I don't have to stress about it too much. Wow. I don't know if it's a good idea or not. So I'll check it. Put this thing back in. Okay. Now, this is my tag has saved me already. I'm going to get rid of that offset. Goodbye, offset. And I can get rid of my tag. So it helps. Machine. Measure some work. Z-axis G54. That's going to be my Z. Do those tags work with apprentices? Today you should try it. Problem with apprentices, they just don't care. Some of them do. Cool. So put that other piece back in. Would be a lot of tags here. Alright, so I'm just gonna like tighten this up and see if a bit of a tap in. See how that one's a little bit loose. Tighter. Gotta love my really crappy work holding. This may or may not work, or it'll be very entertaining. Just gonna change the tool. Okay. Kind of get it in the right position. Now I might do this in like 2 passes just because I really don't want to destroy any of those parts. Just got to measure the thickness, just double check it. So this thickness is what I want here, 4 millimeters. So that's how far down I want to go. That looks about right. Come down to 4 millimeters. Be cool if I could leave my phone in here. Okay, so that's actually sitting 5 millimeters above the part. My worry is that it'll like tear one of the parts out, but let's see what happens. So I want to turn this one on manually. I'm gonna run it like 6,000 RPM. Whoa, not that one. Backspace. RPM, not tool change, not tool 6,000. 6,000 RPM in the clockwise direction. So that's going. Yeah, true. Probably get sucked into the shear hog. So I just turned my feed rate down. I'm gonna go like quite slow. I'm gonna put the coolant on as well, so we can't see anything. And then I'm going to jog it that way. So far, so good. Can't really see anything, so just listening. You can hear the like tiny little parts of the corner getting flicked off, and the shear hog just chucking him. Doesn't sound amazing, that one. Be good to me. Last one. Oh, look at that. So now I can come down another millimeter. I'm going to do that. Go increment mode, and then down to 4 millimeters, and then I'm going to go back to jog and go the other way. Go a little bit quicker this one. Can't see anything. Nice. Last one. Nothing came out of my dodgy work holding. Cool. Don't drop that. Look at that. See, the shear hog is a really cool tool. Ten out of 10 would recommend. Can take those out. So like the only thing I would do is just lightly like deburr the back. I could do it with the mill, but I'll probably just like use a tiny little file and just do it quick. So I'm going to put them in this way now. For the last op, which is like a hole through the side. Should be fairly quick. Ah, no, this one did pull up. You can see. It must have been the one that didn't sound amazing. I'm just going to check them all. Good. It's the problem when you're holding like multiple parts in the vise. If there's any variation in the thickness, one will just pull up. So they're all seem to be, that one's not fantastic. Good. Good, so 2 could be better. Just gonna measure it. So I reckon it just pulled up slightly. That's not ideal. 3.5. So I'm actually just gonna, these ones are gonna be slightly shorter. Luckily this distance doesn't really matter. Oh, that one's actually okay. So maybe only one was a little bit dodgy in its work holding. Rip. Oh, all good, Azza. It's a long live stream. I'm not sure how much longer it could be going for as well. Yeah, man, I'll see you next weekend. I'm planning to. Good luck with the delivery and installation on Tuesday. So I'm just going to knock the back off this one. Another 1/2 mil. Very quick, as quickly as I can. Come down to 3.5, 3.58, 0. Spindle direction, 6,000 RPM. Bit of coolant. That's it. That's all we're to do. And we're back on track. So there you go. Pop that one out. Where do I keep putting the thing? And we're on to the last op, which is cool. I'm gonna grab it like that. This one I might have to do last because it's thinner. It's thinner than the other parts. So this is probably giving you guys a good idea of what's involved in just making little bits and pieces. At least I hope so. This one I'm just going to like pattern drill, spot and drill. So I should have set up in the past already. Shrink. This one I'm going to do separately. Yeah. If you can get the process really reliable, then it makes your life a lot easier. But if you're using like sketchy work holding practices like I am, make your life a little bit harder. Okay, I'm going to probe that in. Change it to 1. No, not 1 RPM. You guys can probably see how many little errors I make too. Okay, change it to 1. Come and probe it in. Need some of that automatic probing. Actually, you're going to check how I've set this up in Fusion first. Let's have a quick look at Fusion. Maybe I haven't. Oh no, it's in the other part. Okay, cam setups. Yes, I've got it here. All right. So I had the parts held the other way around. So there's my origin there. So I'm just going to flip them around for ease of use. Probably should have checked that first. My bad. Yeah, it's pretty much all from Machinery House, apart from some of the tooling. I bought like a milling machine and lathe and a bandsaw all at the same time, so. Cool, all right. Probe that in. X, Y, and Z. have to change the drill. I don't think you actually get to that stage. I think you just got to commit. I was really worried once we'd actually bought the machine that it wasn't going to live up to my expectations. I was like having nightmares. It's like, should I have got something bigger? Should I have got this other machine? And then it was all good once it arrived and plugged it in. No problem. But yeah, it was pretty stressful. Because the last thing you want to do is buy something that's, just really doesn't suit you. But luckily that just didn't happen to me, I suppose. So I'm going to make a pattern. Firstly, I'll measure from here to here, 20 millimeters. I'm going to make a pattern of 6 of these. Machining pattern, new pattern. I'm going to make, in this direction, I'm going to make 20 millimeters and quantity is 6. Cool. And then I always like to just write how many I pattern them by. And I'm going to go change the tool 1 and go table to the door. Just like that. That's all I need to do, I think. Oh, I've got to change the tool. So those tools already have. Tool 3. So change to tool 3. While it does that, go and put a 1/4 inch drill bit into this thing. Hopefully I've got one. Here's one I prepared earlier. I'm going to make it look tidier. Okay, swap this out quick. Find a 1/4 inch collet. 1/4 inch. 1/4 inch drill bit. Nip it up. Sorry, I'll have a look at your question in a sec. I'll just get this tool plugged in. So when the camera's like looking at stuff and I'm on the other side, I can't see what the question was. That's my excuse anyway. Okay. The question was, we need to create similar sized parts for our bike builds, and we always found MH to be great to deal with. What's MH? I don't know what that is. MH. Machinery house. Machinery house here in Forbes should be great with it. How do you go cutting alloy steels? I haven't actually cut any steels in this, only brass. Machinery house, yeah. But one of the guys that works with us, Jin, he machined some steel the other day and said no issues. So yeah, but I haven't really put it through its paces because 95% of what we do is aluminium, so can't really give you any advice on how the machine performs with cutting steels, unfortunately. Just depends what you want to do, I suppose, and how quickly you want to do it. Oh, my phone battery's getting low. I better finish this off. Just gonna probe in this one. 1/4" drill bit. Cool, those are the only tools I need for this operation. Change it back to tool 2 because that's what I'll be starting with. Double check this stuff. Oh, I should aim the camera at what I'm doing. Post-process times 6. All good, man. Yeah, I think if you want to get a really good finish, stay away from the Chinese tool holders. They're good just for like drills and stuff, but for your end mills, you're going to get a lot of run out. That would be my tip to you. Okay, going to load up that program. Safety bracket up to times 6. All right, let's run it. Spot drill. Just kind of running it slow because I haven't run it before. I don't want it to like drill holes in the vise. So far so good. Quick chamfer. Really hoping my phone doesn't run out of battery. I'm not sure what will happen to the live stream. We're almost at the end anyway. I'll finish the other 2 parts off later. Quick edge break. Oh, it's the last one. Oh, table to door is the best code. We like table to door code. Well, there you go. Unbolt those. Haruden, how are you? I've got to come check out your channel again and see some of those sick brother machining videos. This is the coolest machine. Okay, there we go. We got a couple of parts. I'll finish up the other ones later. My parts, man. It's my parts. Thanks, dude. Anyway, let's have a look. So, there you go. Well, I wasn't even pointing the camera. I was looking at the parts. Scale it a bit more. A couple of those came out. It's got to deburr the backside of that hole we just drilled, but yeah, a couple of parts came out. Anyway, I'm gonna leave you guys at that. Thanks for tuning in. Made some things at least. Yeah, my phone's gonna run out of battery, so see you guys later in the next live stream, I suppose, or if I get around to making another video. But cool. Hope you guys enjoyed that. I'll see you later. Yes, definitely upload something cool on that brother, man. get some new content up, we'll dig it. Catch you guys later.